Restaurants are really the cornerstones of our communities. Certainly here in the Valley, but even beyond. Restaurants are where we go to gain nourishment, not just physical nourishment, but psychological nourishment. They help us to save time in our increasingly hectic lives. We frequent restaurants to socialize, to celebrate. Sometimes we go to restaurants to help us to mourn as well. Restaurants, our community restaurants, these cornerstones, are generous supporters of local activities and charities. They're often the first entities, the first people that folks go to when they have fundraisers. More often than not, that's the case. So they're generous supporters, and they're also important economic drivers in our region and in our state and in our country, and that can't be underestimated. Nationwide, as a matter of fact, the restaurant industry is the second largest private employer in the nation, the third in the country, the largest employer being the U.S. government, and the second largest employer nowadays is the healthcare industry. Nationwide, just overtook the restaurant industry, by the way, about 5 years ago. The restaurant industry is an industry of opportunity, and that's a very powerful thing. Almost 1/3 of our population got our first jobs in a restaurant somewhere. And so the restaurant industry, and it's very much true here in the Hudson Valley, helps to provide young people with important business and life skills for the very first time that they can use for the rest of their lives. For those of us that stay in the industry, it remains one that is wide open to innovation and provides great rewards to those that are willing to work hard. In the restaurant industry today, it's still very possible to rise from the dish room to the boardroom. I don't know, Peter, do you have a boardroom?
Very small.
You may not literally, but
23 chairs.
Peter is certainly a great example of that kind of rise into entrepreneurism. And you can't say that about every industry. You certainly can't. So it's a tremendous industry of opportunity. And lastly, and I think maybe the best thing as we kick off Restaurant Week here at CIA, restaurants are fun. Restaurant tours are fun. And the funnest of all, the most fun, are chefs. And so we know you'll get exposed to lots of great and fun restaurant tours and chefs tonight and throughout the course of Restaurant Week and on into the future. So thank you again for coming. We're really pleased to welcome you to the CIA. Pleased to help to get Restaurant Week launched, and I hope you have a good time during your stay here. Now I'm going to turn it over to Janet, the publisher of the Valley Table, and our other host today, and Janet will take us through the rest of the proceedings.